Welcome to the Real Film Nerds
Harvest Horror Fest.
Well, listeners, I apologize. We are coming to an end of the 4th annual Harvest Horror Fest. Today, we continue our rewatch of Friday the 13th with Friday the 13th Part 2. I watched this one, I don't know, probably a year ago, last Halloween maybe. It's it's a movie, that's for sure. So anyways, before we start discussing those things, I should introduce my hostess with the mostest, lying on his chest, trying to stay awake from being a parent, the one, the only, the magnificent, mysterious Michael Talent.
Oh, wow. Wow, what an intro, man. Thanks for that. I'm okay, a little tired. As you said, a new parent again, and just, it's real busy over here, but things are going pretty good, and, it was fun to watch this movie again. I have lots of insightful thoughts about it. Yeah. Do you want me to just go ahead and get into the rundown, Matt?
Mike, please give us the rundown for Friday the 13th Part 2 from the year 1981, the year I was born.
Yeah, man. Wow. That's 40 years ago.
Yes, it is. Thanks for reminding me. I'm so old, Mike.
No problem. All right. So this was directed by Steve Miner. It was written by Ron Kurtz, Victor Miller, and Sean Cunningham. This movie starring Betsy Palmer, Amy Steele, John Fury, Adrienne King, Christine Baker, Stuart Carno. And once again, 5 years after the events of the first film, a summer camp next to the infamous Crystal Lake is preparing to open, but the legend of Jason is weighing heavy on the proceedings.
First thoughts, fifth thoughts, 10th thoughts? I don't know. How many times have you watched this movie?
I've seen it quite a bit, Matt, but I was looking at it from different eyes this time. And, it's actually not a bad sequel. Sure, it's definitely a Jaws ripoff. Even the soundtrack is very similar to like a Jaws lead-in, but it wasn't that bad to me. There's one scene that I feel like was maybe an homage, but probably more likely stolen from like Psycho. But this movie's not that bad. Looking at it from a different perspective, it's kind of the next few that I think things start to downturn. But one interesting thing about this movie and the movie before this is our main character doesn't have his hockey mask, his infamous hockey mask that everyone thinks of when they think of Jason. And I thought that was okay. I mean, he's only got one eye hole in it, man. I'd have a hard time running, so I think that's why he just walks everywhere, because he it's harder to run when with one eye, so I think that's why he walks everywhere. What do you think?
I think it's because he's tired. He's a new parent as well, and so he's just exhausted.
Okay, all right. I wondered how that thing always stays exactly so he can see. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of effort sometimes when he's offing people,
Well, and the other interesting thing, Mike, is his signature machete makes an appearance, but it's not his at that point. It's from his mom. And it's not actually from his... Well, yeah, I think it is from his mom. But it was used to behead his mom in the first one. In this, he's running around with a pitchfork.
Yeah, well, there is one other scene with a machete. The wheelchaired individual has a incident.
It's a nice way of putting it, Mike. Yeah. And, that's one of the best parts of the Friday the 13th is no prejudice whatsoever. Crippled, not crippled, they don't care. We're still going to kill you.
Yeah. I mean, it was during a lot of the sex scenes or right post-sex that, he shows up because, that's what you do. When you're going to murder someone, you wait until they've, banged it out, and then you take them out.
Yeah, you make sure they go out with a smile on their face. The euphoria.
Right.
I mean, it's like Cabin in the Woods. You got to follow the rules.
Oh yeah, Matt. Speaking of Cabin in the Woods, what do they call it? The old guy, the Harbinger.
The Harbinger. There's a Harbinger in this movie too. Yep, I wanted to get into this because this is totally straight up 1980s cliche horror.
Yeah, well, I mean, Matt, I have to admit that I think this movie, well, okay, I guess it probably all started with like Halloween, this movie, and like Nightmare on Elm Street when they first, their first iterations. They were fairly inexpensive to make. Nightmare on Elm Street might have been a little bit more because of some of the makeup special effects. But the other ones were much cheaper to make. And then they made a lot of money. And then I think the movie studios are like, wait a second. I think we can do this a lot. And we saw this with these movies, like for a while, Friday the 13th were coming out yearly. It's only like, a month, 6 weeks of filming, new actors, low budget, a little bit of special effects. Boom.
Well,
make a few $1 million, right?
Well, Mike, that is one thing that Hollywood is very good at, is beating a dead horse until there no longer is a horse. And horror movies are definitely where a lot of that started.
Yeah, I feel like it was right around the late 70s, early 80s that they, with these, I guess, kind of stereotypical slasher movies. I mean, they've made horror movies for a long time, but they just were like, hold on, this one made a little bit of money. Let's do that again.
Well, and isn't the original Halloween considered the original slasher film?
I think it is. I think it is the original slasher film, yeah.
But Friday the 13th gets a lot of the nods, hence my Cabin in the Woods reference, because there's a lot of things like this is a cabin in the woods. There's the Harbinger, the butcher knife, the people having sex that die, boobies, all those fun things. And all that is in Friday the 13th.
It sure is. And in Friday the 13th, it wasn't even our infamous Jason character who was doing it. Sorry, spoilers, but I mean, we reviewed this last Harvest Horror Fest, so, listen to that pod.
Yep. I don't know what episode it is, but it was last year, and I think it might have been the last one or the first one. I don't know. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. I'll ask some questions that I was asked this morning on Lisa Live and Local on Magic 99.1. Mike, what was your favorite murder in Friday the 13th Part 2?
Oh, man, that's actually a really good question. I think my favorite was the wheelchair scene because it's ridiculous, and I don't know how they got that dummy to like stay upright. Like, I wonder how many times they threw that thing down the stairs, but it was great.
Mike, you'll hear it later at the end of the podcast, mine, but I'll go ahead and say it right now. I liked the very first murder in this film because it kind of came out of nowhere. It's spoilers again, anybody that is listening. It is the survivor, the lone survivor from the first film, being slowly stabbed in the temple with an ice pick, and I just cringe every single time I see that.
Yeah, that's true, man. This movie did lean heavily on the end of the first one. In fact, it shows like the ending scene to get you, I guess, up to speed in case you hadn't seen it. And then you see our main character who survived very, having post-traumatic stress or whatever. I don't know whatever you want to call it, but she's still suffering psychologically from what happened. And then, Jason ends up hunting her down, which is interesting because I have no idea where she was at. But they don't say.
Yeah, he got his revenge. Some kind of, beach shore town or something. I don't know, something like that.
That's true. It's true. Speaking of beach shore towns and whatever, I think we should talk about what you're drinking, Matt, in this morning, afternoon, early evening.
Well, Michael, thank you for asking. It is the end of October. I said I'm going to stick true to it. I know you saw the orange label. I am finishing out my Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I need to go to the store and see if I can find more. But yes, yet another Oktoberfest for Harvest Horror Fest.
Awesome, Matt. Awesome. I am also continuing with my trend of drinking pumpkin beers. I'm drinking pumpkin ale from Dogfish Head out of Delaware. Milton, Delaware.
Sam Adams is out of Boston, I think, still, aren't they?
Yes, Boston Beer Company.
Yep. All right, Mike, so here we go. Most important question of the podcast. As always, Mike, how does Friday the 13th Part 2 relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, Matt, that was a great question. I was worried this was made 40 years ago. Was I going to be able to figure out somebody who is still working in the biz, working on a MCU movie? And the answer is yes, I was.
Good job, Mike. Good job. I notice you keep emphasizing the 40.
I do. I just want to keep saying it over and over again. So one of the hairstylists in this movie, Cecilia Verdania, is a hairstylist, and she also worked on the MCU movie of Iron Man.
There you go. You got it. You got it out. Iron Man, the original.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, Matt, that we can keep this going. I mean, with the amount of movies that keep coming, I guess it's going to get a little easier because there's only so many people that do these kind of things over and over.
That's true. That's very true, Michael. So, all right. So back onto our spoiler discussion, since we're already there, of Friday the 13th Part 2. Mike, should people go watch this in the theaters? Not in the theaters. God, you know what I mean. Should people watch this movie at all? There you go. I don't know. It's not streaming on anything. I think it's streaming on Tubi or whatever. But should people watch this movie for Halloween? There you go.
Like I said, this was a pretty good sequel. I would say if you are a fan of the slasher movies, if you like the other Friday the 13th, then absolutely. If not, then you can skip it. But I had fun rewatching this and looking at it from a different perspective. And, it's not that bad. Matt, I will say that one thing that was a little bit, I mean, it was a choice, a cinematic choice, but every time we're like kind of in the killer's shoes, we were looking at his shoes.
Dude, I like those scenes. I really like the perspective of being the killer and, being in the woods and peering in and watching everyone as they go about their daily lives. I like those scenes. And yes, that's how you showed it was the killer, is because he was wearing his work boots.
Yeah, I mean, in this movie, his costume is overalls, like work boots. Did he have a flannel on, maybe? Like, it was pretty much normal, like, besides the bag over his head or whatever, like, he seemed like just dressed like a normal person. I don't know. Maybe not overalls, I guess, but...
I was going to say, how many times do you wear overalls to work, Mike?
Well, I don't, but, they're practical.
You wish you could, right?
I wish I could.
I had a thought and then I lost it.
Oh, sorry, man. I got you off with the. But so the cinematography, like, so you like the perspective shot of seeing his feet, like it was over and over. It was interesting for me because I was just looking at like how it was shot, the differentiation of how they were trying to get you to know that it was the killer. Besides the music, of course, which was very, very Jaws like.
Well, I liked it. I mean, I liked the cinematography in this. I thought it was really well done. I liked that perspective. Yes, the music. I don't know why you keep saying it's Jaws like. There's no shark in here, Mike. He's a man with a pitchfork and a bag on his head.
Yeah, but it's like, like it's almost like the same. It's very similar how it was done. It's not the same, but it's similar.
But Mike, Jaws doesn't go cha cha cha.
No, it doesn't. But there's other parts of the thing where it's like I'm trying to think of the instrument. Is it not a violin? No, like a cello. It's like a cello, and then it goes to like a violin, then it goes to a cello. Like it's similar.
I love Jell-O. It's delicious, especially red.
Oh yes, red is a good flavor. Purple's okay though.
Purple. I mean, it definitely tastes like purple.
It does.
Okay, so answer me this, Mike. Why is it that Jason is a little boy in the first one, and he's a grown adult man that's a monster in the second one? What happened? Because he's not alive anymore. How does something dead grow to that size in 5 years?
Well, I guess with the passing of his mom, he got his mom's spirit, and he ate on that, and he grew, and he grew, and he grew, and then he became this creature who's hunting premarital sex teenagers who go to work at camps.
So is that where it came from? Was her head, her severed head that he sits there and worships?
Yes.
Okay, got it. My question is why are they just now finding Jason's home, and it's clearly not that far away from the camp?
I don't know, Matt. I don't know. There are quite a few unanswered questions, Matt. Quite a few.
Like, why does he have a shitter? If he's supernatural, you wouldn't think he would have to shit anymore, let alone a shitter like that clearly doesn't work and is absolutely disgusting. Is it just for resellability?
Right. I also wondered why he had a toilet which likely has no plumbing. I feel like that's a worse situation than having no toilet.
Well, but I mean, he can at least list it on Zillow with 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, he could. Camp Crystal Lake. Oh, Matt, that would be a very, very funny posting on Zillow.
I've been following this one Facebook page. It's called Zillow Gone Wild. It is incredible. There is some very interesting stuff that dude finds. Very interesting.
Nice, Matt. That would be a really funny Zillow post. Crystal Lake, cabin with a view, 1 bedroom. like you know how people really sugarcoat sometimes rough properties.
Yeah, sometimes you hear night terrors and screaming. It's fine. All blood washes away with a hose.
Which this house does not include water, but there is a lake.
There's a lake and a toilet with no plumbing.
I thought you were going to say the lake is the toilet.
The lake is the toilet? No, you don't want to poop where you swim.
Ooh.
Mike, come on. We learned that from that one 80s movie with the Snickers bar that floats by in the public pool.
Which movie are you talking about?
You don't
with the
poop where you
Snickers bar?
swim. I don't remember what 80s movie it is. Someone has like a Baby Ruth or something in their pocket. It like comes out of the pants and is floating around in the swim trunks, and everybody thinks it's a duty. Remember, he yells "duty," and everybody gets out of the pool.
I'm trying to think of which movie that is, man. It's not coming to my mind.
It's one of those ones. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's the one with Phoebe Cates where she takes off her top as she's walking towards like the pool. Remember?
Oh, okay. All right. I think it's coming clearer.
Well, I'm old and you're tired. It's a terrible combination, Mike.
All right. All right, Matt. Back on track.
Yes, sir.
So when you watch this, did you have a hard time watching it like all the way through? Like, were you distracted, or did it hold your attention?
Are you saying that I fell asleep because I'm old? Is that what you're trying to say, Mike?
Did you fall asleep? I don't know.
No comment.
Oh no! Wow! Is it that new lazy boy that you got? It just makes life too comfortable, and you're just like, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna drink this Sam Adams. I'm gonna watch this movie, and then you're just out.
Dude, that sumbitch is, when I'm sitting in it, it's fine. The instant the legs come out, that's it. It's over. It's over. I might as well punch the time clock. I'm out. I'm gonna fall asleep when the legs are out. It's terrible. Or is it delightful? I haven't decided. It's one of them.
So soon, are you just gonna like throw away your bed because you don't need it anymore?
I wouldn't go that far. But I have woken up and the sun's coming up and I'm still in the lazy boy. Yes.
Whoops.
All right, Mike. So how many reels do you give Friday the 13th part 2?
So, man, I'm going to give this one 3.5 reels. I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's not a terrible movie. I mean, the dialogue is not great and the acting's not great, but overall, I thought it was pretty well put together.
Well, Mike, you're a kinder, gentler man than I. I give Friday the 13th part 2 a 3 out of 5. I think it was fun. It's a decent sequel, but I still think the original Friday the 13th is definitely the spearhead of the series.
No, but yeah, as the sequel goes, I didn't feel like it was that bad. Next year when we review part 3, I think things are going to get pretty rough.
So everyone, tune in 1 year when we review Friday the 13th part 3. The podcast continues.
The pod keeps on podding.
Okay, Mike, so we should discuss the film that we're going to review for next week, Harvest Horror Fest, the 4th annual or the 4th iteration is officially coming to a close. And we're going to talk about a brand new movie that came out last week as we record this. It's called Dune 2021.
Yeah, in this movie you can get some spice.
You can get some pumpkin spice in the Dune?
Yeah, dude, you can get some pumpkin spice. All you have to do is go to Starbucks. Boom, pumpkin spice.
Everybody loves the PSL.
Yeah, but we are going to be talking about the sci-fi movie Dune, and I'm excited to watch this one, Matt. This one's it's directed by now I'm going to forget his name.
Denis Villeneuve.
And he's done some pretty cool things. So he did Blade Runner 2049. He did The Arrivals, which you and I both loved. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with this movie.
I'm a big fan of the sci-fi, that's for sure. So, Mike, the bigger question here is, are you going to watch Dune at home, or are you going to go to the theaters and pay it the due it deserves?
So, Matt, I would love to be able to have the time to go watch it in the theaters. This movie is clocking in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's without the trailers and stuff, which the last time I made it to the theater, which granted has been a little while now, it was 25 minutes worth of trailers. So, I guess if you got 3.5 hours to kill, I would say go see it in the theater. Unfortunately, Matt, I'm going to have to stream it because I just can't get out of the house that long. I have some commitments. So, being a parent of a newborn and a toddler at the same time is demanding.
All I hear is excuse. So, whatever, slacker. I'm going to try and go see it in the theaters. So, Mike, did you ever read the novel the film's based on?
No, I never have. I think if I got a chance, I think I would really like it. It seems like a kind of story that I would really dig.
Now, if we were sponsored by Audible, this is where I would put that in, because you could sit there and listen to the book instead of read it. So you could be sitting there changing poopy diapers and vacuuming the floor while you're listening to Dune on Audible. But we're not sponsored by Audible, so we'll just go ahead and not worry about this.
Okay. All right. Well, man, I don't even know if I could listen to it. I've got to listen for, well, obviously the crying would I would hear that, but I'm usually listening for all kinds of things. So, it's a little different over here, Matt. A little different.
Crying, farts. What else do you listen for? People breaking into the cars?
When a baby throws up, we call it spit up. So I listen for that.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah. It's fine.
A little spittle. All right. Very good. So, Mike, I don't have anything else. How about yourself, young man?
I don't have anything else. I think I've said everything I wanted to say about that movie. It was good.
So, the end of your annual Harvest Horror Fest, which Harvest Horror Fest has been the best?
Oh man, I don't know. They're all good in their own way, Matt. This one was definitely a little different because I wasn't able to really make it to the theaters, and I would have liked to have seen at least Halloween Kills in the theater and stuff. But hey, it's okay.
Oh, speaking of Halloween, what horror movie are you going to watch on Halloween?
I usually just throw on, back when we had TV, I used to just throw on like AMC or somebody who's just streaming not streaming, playing all kinds of horror movies just back to back. I don't know what we're going to watch. It might be kind of a kids movie. We might watch Hotel Transylvania or let's see, what's the other one I was thinking of?
Hellraiser?
No, not Hellraiser.
Oh, that's not a kids movie?
No. That is not a kids movie.
It's definitely a description of a child.
Yes. I'm trying to... man, I just had a movie in my mind. I lost it. Oh, it's with witches.
Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, probably Hocus Pocus.
Oh, hell. We'll have to review that one next year then.
Yeah, I actually have that one.
And it's on a like DVD, or is it a VHS?
I have it on streaming, man. I have it in HD.
Wow, Mike. And it's not claimed on the Vudu. Wow, Mike. Wow.
No, it's not a Voodoo movie, man. I'm sure you can get it on Voodoo, but
Oh, I forgot. You're an iTunes Apple person, so it's on iTunes.
it is.
I knew it. Traitor. Do you have Apple Plus?
I do.
Damn it, Mike. See, you pay for that.
Well, it ended up being that because I had Apple Music and I had Apple iCloud, I was able to add Apple Plus for nothing. So I got it.
So, yeah, I was going to say it's probably because you're so inversed in, Apple has their tentacles or their seeds all in you for everything.
Yeah, well, something like that, man. But I do like the Apple Music. They have a web browser client, which I use constantly for work, so I love that.
Well, all right, Mike. I'll let you go to bed. You look exhausted.
I am kind of tired, man, that's for sure.
I'll stop berating you about your love of Apple, which is so strange to me because I'm the one that grew up in the creative world with Apple and Mac products, and you're the one that didn't. And I prefer PC and Android all day.
Yeah, that is interesting, Matt, for sure. The dichotomy of it, but the funny part is, man, I don't have a Mac PC
Yet.
Yeah, but it's been a long time, man. I've only used their phone and iPad
Beets.
And then, yeah, Beats. And then, but it was before Apple bought them. So,
So then it's okay.
yeah. It's fine, man. It's fine. But you're right. I have a few Apple products. Watch, the pods, whatever. Everything's fine.
You have a lot of Apple products. So, all right, Mike, I'll go ahead and remind you. Go ahead. Why don't you just do your thing, Mike, so then you can go night-night.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, to our 4th annual Harvest Horror Fest. And with this movie, like Matt said, this concludes it. And we're excited to review some of the new upcoming movies. We got The Eternals is coming. We have Dune next week. There's a bunch of movies. It looks like it's going to be jam-packed the rest of the year with just good movies. So make sure to tune in and follow us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure you go out there and stream a movie or go watch a movie at a theater if you feel comfortable. The theaters will love you.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now go out and catch a movie.
He's here with his review of Friday the 13th, Part 2. Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast on Magic 99.1. How you doing there, Matty?
Incredible.
Oh, no. What? You had a day off or something, right?
I did.
And the weekend off?
I took a day off. I forced myself to take a day off yesterday.
Nice. Look at what it's done for you. You just have a pep in your step and a sparkle in your eye.
I'm a year older, too.
Was it your birthday?
Yeah.
When? Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maddie. Happy birthday to you.
Can I officially retire now?
You may.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa. You're the best.
You're welcome.
You're the best.
You're
I'm going to do this
welcome.
every day now. We'll just watch movies every day.
Oh, boy, I can't wait. So this is the last film in your Harvest Horror Film Fest, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
For the year.
For the year.
Yeah.
And how was it? How was the film fest this year?
It was interesting.
Yeah?
It was interesting. A lot of classics this year.
Right.
And then one brand new one. So
Right.
that was fun.
Okay, very good. Well, you watched Friday the 13th Part 2 for us this week.
Yep.
And I'm sure you've seen it a bazillion times.
Not a bazillion, but I've seen it a handful of times
Handful?
before now. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's when
Did
you,
it change since the last time you saw it?
I'd say I probably paid a little bit more attention to it
Okay.
this time, and it wasn't as good.
Oh, good point. I think with horror films, they're kind of one and done because you know what's coming up. You know what's going to happen.
Well, and this one is what you would consider your traditional Friday the 13th film. So I don't want to spoil the original. We did the original last year, and it's, in my opinion, the best of the whole series.
Of course it is. It always is.
Because of the big twist.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have the big twist. This is more of, it's Jason doing his thing, and this is the start of that.
Right.
And so this is before he has the hockey mask. This is before he has the machete, all the stuff you know him for.
Right.
I don't even think we see that until at least the third or fourth film.
Okay.
So.
All right. Very good. Any new surprises since the last time you saw it?
No, there were lots of murders.
And lots of murders, lots of blood. What's the scariest murder or the worst murder? They're all bad.
Yeah,
but...
they're all pretty bad. right off the start, the girl that killed his mother. There, I spoiled the first one.
Okay,
Great.
the girl that killed her
his
mother.
Yeah,
his
Jason's mother in the
Oh.
first one. That's
Yeah.
the first kill of this movie, and it's just kind of random. I think they're just cleaning it up.
Yeah.
But it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
It's right off the start.
Right.
And she's in her apartment or house or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Okay.
So
all right, very good. Well, how many reels are you going to give it?
I was just looking that up. I give
you
it 3.
forget.
Yeah.
3 reels. You take one day off and you'll lose it.
No,
Look at you.
that's why I have my little app that I record everything with. But yeah,
Okay.
It's fun. It's a horror movie. It's
Yeah.
classic. Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees. It's 1980s. It's the horror tropes. It's the teenagers running off into the forest to get it on, getting murdered. It's the unsuspecting person. It's the girl that stands there and waits and screams for 5 minutes as he creeps towards her. It's classic,
Right.
classic 1980s horror. So.
Perfect. Let me ask you something. If you were to recommend one scary movie for Halloween night, what would your top pick be and why?
For Halloween night.
Yes.
So now it has to be like full on scary, or can it be?
It can be whatever you
Because
want
I mean,
it to be.
I love Cabin in the Woods, but if
Okay.
you haven't watched a lot of horror movies, it's not going to do a lot for you.
Okay.
I would say, maybe the original Halloween, because that's really, and it takes place on Halloween night.
Perfect.
So that's very, dialed in
Yeah.
for a Halloween night movie. So
Okay, all right,
yeah.
fair enough. Should we give Ma Hinshaw a call and see what she thought of Friday the 13th Part 2?
Of course.
Okay, let's give her a call.
I'm a little scared to hear what she said.
Ma Hinshaw,
likes.
up next on Magic. Good morning, Ma Hinshaw. Lisa and
good
Matt
morning,
calling
Lisa.
on Magic 99.1. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fine. I'm here on the ocean edge in San Clemente.
Are you on vacation, Ma Hinshaw?
Yes, I am.
Wow, you lucky duck. Your mother is at the beach and you are here on your birthday.
Yeah, she takes the vacations for me.
No, we tried to get you to come and you wouldn't because you're a workaholic.
He is a workaholic, Ma Hinshaw. That is a fact.
Hey, someone's got to pay for your vacations.
True.
Awesome. So, did you watch Friday the 13th Part 2?
Oh,
Ma?
absolutely. I watched it the initial time when it first came out, and I was pregnant with Matt, so you know what's wrong with him.
It explains so much.
I'm sure it's a lot more than just that. Yeah.
Well, you know.
Was
But,
it-
yeah.
So you hadn't seen it since then. You watched it back then?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's more like me. And what did you think? Were there any surprises for you this time around?
I liked it, and well, there were surprises because it's been so long since I watched
Sure.
it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I really liked it, and usually the second one is not as good as the first, but I think this one was.
Okay.
I really do. I would highly recommend it. The scary parts were the creaking doors in the cabins and stuff like that. I mean, they had it to a T, because we used to go to Camp Christian Echoes and work on the buildings, and I couldn't stand to go in the bathroom because the doors creaked just like in that movie.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It was frightening.
I can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how many cookies you going to give it?
4.
Four
I'd say
cookies.
4.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Matt gave it 3 reels. Very good. So would you
Oh,
recommend
shame
watching
on
it on Halloween night?
Oh, absolutely. That would be a good one for Halloween night. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Okay, tell me, what was your favorite murder in the movie?
Oh, let me think. Oh, I think when the guy got caught in a bear trap and was hanging upside down.
Oh,
that was
my
pretty
gosh.
awesome.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, Ma Hinshaw. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you on Monday mornings. Enjoy your vacation, Ma Hinshaw.
I am. I already heard a seagull, so there is hope.
Okay, very good. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She's so precious, Matt. What are we going to be watching this next week?
So
Do you know?
even though it came out this week,
Yeah.
this past weekend, we're going to do it for next week because we wanted to finish out our Harvest Horror Fest.
Okay.
Is the new Dune.
The new Dune. Yes. Have
Yeah.
you heard good things?
I've been trying to stay away from reviews and
Yeah.
things so far
Okay.
until I see it. But it's on HBO Max.
Okay.
But I'm going to try and go and see it in the theaters because I think it deserves to. Even though it's a 3-hour-long movie, I
was
think
gonna
you should
say.
go see it in the theaters just because it's so visually spectacular.
Okay, very good. We'll review Dune next week. Check out the podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. Matt, as always, thanks for coming in.
No, thank you, Lisa.
Oh, you're welcome.